Coming to the podium, we have the winners of the quarterfinal game of tonight's action. Highlands defeated McCracken County. We're now joined by the Bluebirds head coach Kevin Listerman and his student athletes number 10, Zachary Barth, and 11, Luke Muller. Coach, opening statement. This is a good one, start to finish, and you happen to be on the winning side of the scoreboard.
Absolutely. We have so much respect for McCracken County, and those kids are just tough. Man, they answered every shot, every possession. Coach is doing a great job with them over there, and unfortunately, somebody had to lose tonight. But we talked to our kids at halftime and the timeouts to just being mentally tough, getting stops, getting rebounds, coming up with loose balls. And I think we did a much better job of that the second half, especially down the stretch. And part of that was because we had the lead. And then we knocked down enough free throws to keep them at bay and come out with the victory. So we're very fortunate. We're excited that we still get to keep playing. And I'm just very proud of our kids.
And to the media, you do have permission to record this. If you're on a device that allows recording, we'll set that for you. This question from Michael Graham. Kevin, what would you say if someone told you Highlands would not hit any field goals in the fourth quarter and still win?
I'd say that's very rare for us. But we were comfortable with where we were in the game. And when you have a player like Sam Vincent who can control the basketball, we felt like we were able to get the floor where we wanted it, get the ball to where we wanted it. We had some great looks that didn't go down. But then we got to the free throw line and we got to the double bonus. And like I said, we were able to make enough free throws. So, when you get to a game like this and the possessions become important, you may not get as many field goal attempts, and we didn't. And that's kind of how the game went. So, I was proud of our guys for being in this type of game and handling the possessions the way we did.
Luke, this one's for you, a little bit of a history lesson. Highlands has now advanced to the state semifinals for the third time in school history, joining 1924 and 1997. How gratifying was it to pull away down the stretch to make that happen?
It's a big deal to all of us and the community as well. We know that this doesn't happen. It hasn't happened in a long time. And I think that's fueling us a little bit to keep playing hard. And I'm just telling the guys out there to stay steady. We got a great team, and we really handle ourselves under pressure well, and it showed out there.
Thank you. James Collier, question for you, Coach. A play that gets lost in the shuffle, but how big was the steal by Vincent on the drive by Dumas late in the game when you were up 2?
Huge. And, Sam has a knack for just making winning plays. I've been fortunate enough to see him since he was a 6th grader, and he just finds ways to win basketball games. And that's a huge play. Then there was another one on the baseline where Luke and Sam got Dumas in a trap, and we were able to come away with it. And I think Zach got fouled and buried the free throws. He just has such a high basketball IQ and has an ability to go make plays where we need him. And that's what you expect out of the best player on your team and the best player in the region.
This one's for Zach, and it's from Michael Graham. The team had to battle adversity in the game tonight. How did previous experiences this season help you pull through?
It helped us a lot. I mean, they had number 3. He was a really good guard, and us playing against other good guards during the regular season really helped us.
We've got a very difficult region. We've been in battles throughout the season, and our guys were able. We just kept talking about winning the quarter, and then we sort of won the third quarter. We were up we took the timeout. I think we were up 6. I said we won that segment. They made their run and cut it to 4, and at the media timeout. And I said we got to win the last 3.5 minutes. And so when you stay in the moment, it makes it easier to focus on just the task at hand. You don't worry about what has happened or what's going to happen. And I think our kids did a great job of just staying in the moment and executing what needed to be done.
From Jared Peck, Lexington Herald leader. You shot 60% from 3. How big was that? But also, how worrying was it that McCracken just wouldn't go away?
Well, you get to the Elite 8, the teams aren't going away. They've got toughness. They've been through battles. They're going to find ways. They've got great senior leadership. One of our strengths is 3-point shooting. And we've shot it very well here the last 2 games, and we got to continue to do it. It's one of our strengths, and you've got to play to your strengths. And fortunately, we got a group that not only shoots it well, but looks for each other and has confidence in each other, and keep knocking it down. I think William Harold took one when we were up 4 in a little transition, and I'm thinking, we got to shoot it. That's a good shot for us. And it didn't go, but that's the way we play. And we have full confidence that those guys are going to make those shots.
This question from James Collier, and excuse me for not knowing, but I'm assuming you played Ashland at the start of the season.
We did.
Okay. How much do you go back to that first game?
We're very different teams. Personnel is personnel. Their best players are still their best players. Our best players are still our best players. You're going to look at it in terms of probably some actions and things that they did. But we're both very different teams. We've grown a ton, and our team is very different than when we were on January the 4th. And I know Coach Mays and their group has worked extremely hard, and they're better than they were on January the 4th. So it's a little bit of irony that we circle back here. Very excited to play them again. What a tradition-rich program Ashland is, and Coach Mays has done a great job down there. So we're excited to play them.
All right, we'll wrap it up there. It's definitely rest is important. So I'll let you guys get going.
All right. Thank you very much.
Next up to the podium will be McCracken County, champions out of the first region and our final quarterfinalist of the night. Coached by Burlin Brower. He'll be joining us on the stage with athletes number 3, Noah Dumas, and 33, Ian McCune. I believe they are in transit, and we'll have you with them shortly. Coach, that's a hard-fought game, and I mean, you just wouldn't go away. And the other team's coach just mentioned that when you get to this point in the year with 8 teams left, teams don't go away. And I think just expand on that a little bit.
It is. I'm really proud of our guys. These guys have all been so close, and I'm not afraid to mention. I know a lot of things go on, and kids move around, but like both these guys right here, I remember I used to take them in the truck with me to practice when they were little. I mean, I think they've been there. How many times you probably rode miles and miles with me, and every one of those kids in that locker room right now, I watched them play Little League basketball. I watched them play middle school basketball. So for those guys to come up here and compete with the best of the best, and I'm going to tell you, Highlands is one of the best shooting teams I've ever coached against. I don't even know if I've ever coached anything close against that. But the biggest thing about these guys and all those guys in that locker room, in today's society, it's easy to be a me person, and people keep talking about how balanced we are. We're not all about individual. Both these guys here beside me, if they played for a lot of teams, they'd shoot 20, 25 times a game. But all they constantly do is they move the ball and they play for each other, and they're so unselfish. And in today's society, that's one of the hardest things you'll find. And both these guys and all those guys in the locker room, I just can't say enough about the way that they carry themselves on and off the court.
Got some sequence of questions from Adam Wells. He wants to know, Coach, after trailing by 12 in the third, you cut it to 2. How mentally tough was your team in that stretch?
These guys are very, we push those guys a lot. I'll be honest, I'm not the easiest guy to play for in practice. Our practices are tough, but these guys don't have a lot of quit in them, and they've always fought. And we've been down a bunch of times. There's 2 or 3 times this year we've started off games down 14-0 and come back and tied people up. These guys don't have a quit in them. They find ways to come back, and they don't try to do it individually. That's a great thing I've noticed about them. They'll move and get good shots, but these guys just aren't willing to lay down and just take it. They'll fight back every step of the way.
Ian, how tough was Highlands to defend on the 3-point line?
It was really tough, man. They just spread us out, and it's really hard to defend their point guard. He's just so quick and athletic that we couldn't help much off, or it'd be a wide open 3, and they were going to make it.
And then a question for Noah. What do you think Highlands did in those last few minutes to kind of keep you from coming all the way back?
I mean, they defended well at the end of the game. I mean, our shot selection wasn't bad, but I mean, their defense was pretty good at the end.
Follow up with you. How do you describe what this season has been like for you and your teammates to get back to this stage after missing out last year?
I mean, it's been amazing. We're all brothers. We hang out every day. It's just amazing that we got to have a season and got to ruck, won a game, fought hard the last game, and came up short. So it was amazing.
Coach, well, just to wrap it up, what will you take away from this year? I mean, when you look back at everything that went on, is this obviously something to be proud of?
Oh, it's very proud of. You know, I feel like, McCracken, we're still a young school. You know, we just consolidated a few years ago, and what these guys have done again, both these guys sitting beside me, this guy here is player of the year in Region 1. I mentioned the other day, passes up shot after shot, still ends up being player of the year. Because our team is so good, we find ways to get individual accolades. And, the other guy here was MVP of our regional tournament. I think these guys I'll go back to again, just the whole team concept. Defense is something that we've hung our hat on. You don't see that a lot. Statistics, they don't, you don't see that in the newspaper. He had 10 blocks or two, it's just simple things like that. You're always talking about points and rebounds. We do a lot of the little things that don't show up. And I think that's what I'll carry on with me to keep our program where it's been going and keep it in the right direction. Everybody in that locker room, juniors and understand that now, what you can do by continuing to play good defense and playing for each other, where the wins continue to rack up. That's the things I think I'll take away the most from this year.
Coach, players, awesome season. We can't thank you enough for joining us. As we get close to 10 o'clock, I know getting some rest is going to be important. Just go enjoy your accomplishments, and we'll see
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Thank you.
Like,